Question, who am I? Answer, Colossians 1:15 through 16. Speaking about Jesus, the word reads, He's the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by Him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through Him and for Him. Now, here's the irony. If my question is, who am I? Then it seems to me like the text doesn't actually answer my question. But it does. And that's because the text begins with Jesus as the creator of all things. So the answer to the question, who am I, really begins with who Jesus is. Jesus is the image of the invisible God. He is the exact representation, the icon, the picture in human flesh of who God is. Jesus is Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus is God. He's the Almighty. He is the creator of all things. Now, which things? Things in heaven and on earth, thrones, rulers, authorities, and people. All people from every tribe and every nation, everything and everyone has been created through Jesus and for Jesus. Now, if you know anything about the Bible, that should take you back to John chapter 1, verse 1, which says, In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That harkens back to the very first page of the Bible, where Genesis 1, verse 1 tells us, In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And as you read through that creation narrative, you get to some wonderful words in verse 26. Words which say, Then God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So, who am I? Who are you? Well, friend, I don't care what anyone's ever told you. And with respect, I don't actually care much about what you think you are. That's because, in reality, what matters is what the creator of the universe says you are. By breathing into you the breath of life, He says you have worth. He says you have dignity. He says you have purpose. He says you're the Imago Dei. It's Latin for the image of God. And as such, you're the crowning glory of His creation. This is a message we desperately need to hear right now, because how we view people changes how we treat them. A man named Francis Schaeffer once said, and I quote, We cannot deal with people like human beings. We cannot deal with them on the high level of true humanity unless we really know their origin, who they are. God tells man who he is. God tells us that He created man in His image. So, man is something wonderful. My friends, I hope this impacts you like it's impacted me. It's really changed how I view people and how I treat them. All people, all 7.5 billion of us, are the Imago Dei. And as such, every person deserves to be treated with honor and respect, for we all bear the image of our Creator. Thanks for watching.